Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Corporate Face-to-Face series. Friends, as all of you are aware, we introduce to you emerging companies from emerging sectors, and we make it a point to talk to the promoters and the top managements of such companies so that all of us can understand, these companies better. What is their business model? What is their growth journey? What are their future expansion plans? And today, friends, we've got a very interesting company which operates, a platform-based business and very interesting, which is going to hit the capital market very soon. The company's name is Pelatro Limited, and we have the privilege and pleasure of having the promoter and managing director, Mr. Subhash Menon. Subhashji, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And I'm sure that in this small interaction today, we'll be able to understand your company's operations in a much better manner.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah. So Subhashji, first question, which is very elementary, if you could tell us, what is the overall business model of our company? I was very interested to know that, this platform actually operates across 30 countries and some sort of customer engagement platform is what we offer to the customers. Now, if you could tell us in a very simple way, what exactly is the business model of our company and how did this business journey, Subhashji, start? If you could just give us a little bit of a journey experience that how did you thought about this idea and how did this idea get into finally in the shape of a company? So if you could please share your thoughts.
Okay. The company started its life in about 2013, about 11 years ago. Initially, we developed the product for about 2-3 years, and then we went to the market. We started selling it to customers, essentially telcos. We are currently focused only on telcos, and we are slowly starting to add banks as well. Okay. But at this point in time, all customers are telcos. So the idea came to mind because we realized that in the telco world, the telcos have reached a saturation point at that at that juncture, wherein to increase revenue, they could not increase customers anymore, subscribers, because that had already reached the peak. So the only way they could do is go deeper into the existing subscribers and sell more to those subscribers and get more revenue per subscriber. Okay. Now, to do that, you need to really understand the subscribers very well, and that's where we got this business idea of a customer engagement platform. Okay. Now, we help the telcos to engage very deeply with their subscribers. And how we do that is we collect all the data that comes on the network. That means anything and everything you will be doing with your phone. Think about it like that. We collect all of that, and using that, we come up with a profile. So you have a profile, I have a profile, somebody else will have a third profile. We all have different profiles. So for hundreds of millions of subscribers or tens of millions of subscribers, we collect the data in real time. We process that in real time, and we update the profile of the person in real time. So that then we help the telcos to send appropriate campaigns or promotions to specific segments of subscribers based on their behavior to increase their revenue. See, if you go and promote something, if you're suggesting something to a customer, the chance of them accepting it becomes higher when it's a personalized offer, when it's relevant, contextual, and real time. This is exactly what we do. These 4 words: it's relevant, it's contextual, it's personalized, it's real time. Okay. So we help them to engage like that. So that is the business that we have. And coming to the business model, we provide our solution as a platform, and we charge, in most cases, we charge a fixed fee for that. And then there are, of course, change requests and stuff like that. So most of our revenue comes as a repeat revenue. So we've got 2 types of revenue. One is repeating revenue, one is one-time revenue. A large percentage, I can come to the percentages later if you have some specific question on that. A large percentage of the revenue is from repeat revenue, and the rest is from one-time revenue. So that's our business model.
Okay. So, Vajji, just for my understanding, I want to understand, can we call ourselves a SaaS company, software as a service? Is that the term right, or is it are we different from a SaaS company?
No, in the model that we engage with telcos, we are a SaaS company. As in, we give the product, we charge them monthly fixed fee. Yeah. So in the commercial model, we are a SaaS company.
Okay. Understood.
But our product is very, very large. It is an enterprise class solution. It's not a small plug and play solution. Exactly. And it has to be deeply integrated within a telco. Okay. So to that extent, it is not SaaS. Okay. So I would say it's the best of both worlds, because when you are deeply integrated within a telco, their dependence on you increases, and they can't, in a typical SaaS, they can switch off one platform and go to another platform. Yeah. That's why the churn happens very quickly.
Correct.
In our case, they can't do that. So to replace a platform like ours, it'll take them at least 1.5 to 2 years.
Oh, okay. There's a
So
lot of
it's not a
client
matter of
stickiness.
days or weeks.
So basically, a lot of client stickiness is there with us. I mean, it's not very easy to shift from the client's base
It
also.
is 100%. In all these, our first customer came on board 8 years ago. We have not lost a single customer till date after they have signed up.
Oh, okay.
So it's 100%. Churn is zero.
Oh, I think very nice to hear, Subhasji. Subhasji, now tell me one thing. If you could, I mean, if it is possible for you, if you could tell us, which are the prominent, customers in telecom, abroad in some of the global markets. Some names, if you could
Yeah.
share for our viewers, that would help us understand your company's profile in a much better manner. So please, if you could share.
Yeah, I don't want to give the specific names of in different countries because that's not in the
Yeah,
RHP, but I'll give you the generic
yeah,
names.
yeah.
So the groups like Vodafone Group, Singapore Telecom Group, Uridu Group, Axiata Group. So we work with all multiple groups
Okay,
at this point in time. So these are some very, very large, telco groups that we
okay,
are talking about. So, Singapore Telecom is a very large group. Vodafone is a very large group. So we work with multiple large groups across these countries.
okay. So understood. So Bajay, now tell me one thing. When you approach a new customer, typically when you pitch your product to a new customer, what are the pre-qualification norms? Like, typically this is a very detailed kind of, product which you mentioned, which does a lot of data mining for the telecom customers, which is your main business vertical. Now tell me, what are the
Yeah.
pre-criteria qualification norm? Is it easy to get into this industry, or does it require a decent amount of track record that you have to cater to XYZ, people in the industry? Then only people believe you, they trust you. So if you could share your thoughts.
Track record is very important because you see, this product that goes in our product is normally called as a critical one product for the telco. Because in a typical telco, our product is the platform on which almost 40 to 45% of their revenue flows. So if the product stops for, let's say, 5 minutes, their revenue gets impacted immediately. So the criticality of the, I mean, you will hear the telcos tell you that this product is almost at the same level as a billing system. Now, without a billing system, no telco can operate. So it's almost at the same level. So that's the criticality of the platform. So given that, track record is very important. So they look for 2, 3 things. They look for track record. They look for a lot of domain expertise in the telco space.
Correct.
So we have to speak the language. So when we discuss with them, we have to speak the language. And scalability is very important because telcos operate at very large size. So scalability is very important. So we've got one customer who's at about 400 million subscribers. So you can imagine the volume that we handle. One customer, 400 million. And there are many customers who are at 90 million, 100 million, 110 million. So their volumes are humongous, and when you deal with that in real time, an ordinary platform will not be able to sustain that.
Exactly.
So that's why all these. So the getting in is not easy. So we have got those USPs which help us to get in by way of domain expertise and stuff like that.
Okay. And Subhaji, just to get a flavor, currently Pelatro is handling how many customers? If you could give us some broad idea about what is the total active client size which we are handling, and across how many countries do we operate, and which are the main pockets where a large percentage of our revenue comes for our company?
If my memory serves me right, it's about 38 or so telcos that we work with, and they're spread across 30 countries. That's because in some countries we've got more than one customer.
Okay.
So there is this, I mean, I don't want to give the specific name of the country for obvious reasons because it's not in the RHP, but there is one country in Asia where there are only 3 telcos in that country, all 3 are our customers.
Okay, understood.
There is another very large country in Asia where there are only 2 telcos, both are our customers.
Okay.
So we have got multiple customers in the same country, and that's why it is 38, telco networks across 30 countries.
Okay, understood.
And what was your next question on related to
I
that?
said in
You asked
terms of the
something.
geographical mix, of these 38 countries, which are the pockets where maximum revenue flows to our company? If you could at least tell us the
Yeah.
geographical.
So Asia is our number one spot, and number 2 is Africa, and then Middle East. Now, if you look at some customers, our customer concentration is very low. There's probably only one customer who gives about some 14 or 15% something. Everybody else is at less than 10%, average of 5-6% kind of thing. So it's very widely spread.
Okay, understood. And Subhaji, now tell me one thing on the product R&D. I think this is a regular process. You deal a product which is so integrated. How many people does the
Yeah.
company have on the R&D, on the technical side, on the on the help desk? Because obviously these problems must be coming at some point of time. So what is the size of the employee base of the company currently? For servicing these 38 customers. And do you require a little more employee base as you get more and more customers? I mean, will you have to ramp up the employee strength to actually service a new set of customers, hopefully going forward?
Okay, so we have got a few technical areas. One is development, then there is testing, then there's implementation, and then there is support. All of these call for technical skill sets. Across all these, and of course there is roadmap, which is just that's part of the development team. Across all these sectors, I think we are probably at around 250 plus people at this point in time across these sectors.
Okay.
But the beauty of a software product business is that at some point in time you hit what's called as non-linearity, wherein you have already developed most of it. That further developments are incremental in nature, not huge developments. So you don't need to develop too much. You sell to more customers. Pelatro has reached that point now. So while we will still need to increase people, there is no doubt about it. So when you go from 38 customers, if you go to 138, you definitely can't manage with the same number. You have to increase, but the increase will be nominal. So in the past, if you look at the past couple of years, our increase of number of people is very nominal. So if you look at even RHP, I think we've given this information from March of 24 to August of 24, there was hardly any increase in people.
Correct.
So while there will be small increases, it will not be very much. So that's the non-linearity kicking in. So this means when our revenue goes up, our cost will not go up in line with that. Profitability will keep improving, increasing. We have reached that point at this juncture.
I think very nicely put by you, Subhaji. Now, Subhaji, this can we assume from a financial perspective, what you mentioned now, does it mean that the business has got a lot of operating leverage, in terms of, scaling up? So is my thinking right? I just wanted to understand from you.
Absolutely. See, for example, when we go from 38 to 45 customers, we can easily handle all those customers without new people. I mean, that's just an approximate number I'm giving. I'm not giving you an exact number.
Yeah.
So it is not as if for every dollar extra, we have to add cost. I mean, 80% of our cost is people, okay? So when I talk cost, I mean people. I mean, the rest is very, very small.
Correct.
So we won't have to increase. So that's absolutely the case. There's a lot of operating leverage in this business. Great possibility. That's you're calling it operating leverage. I'm calling it non-linearity. It's the same thing.
Okay. Subhaji, now as far as the pricing goes, do you have an annual pricing with your customers? Like, when you sell the, the integrated software package to all these, 38 customers, does the pricing work on an annual basis? Is there some AMC, or is there, some sort of, on a case to case, on a customized kind of a project oriented? Because all these customers might be having something different. There might be a different level of customization for all these customers. Now, how does pricing work for these for your companies? How do you price the project finally for you as a company with all these customers?
We basically price the product on the basis of two things. One is the number of subscribers they have in the market, in their network. The next thing is the kind of modules that they take from us. I mean, because our product, although it's a large platform, it also has modules within that. So depending upon what all modules they take, the price changes. So based on these two things, we arrive at a fee. Now, as I told you initially, there are two models that we have. One is two revenue models. One is a repeating revenue, one is one-time revenue. In the case of one-time revenue, it's a one-time license fee, and then there's an AMC, which becomes repeat revenue. In the other case, it is license fee and everything is a monthly fixed fee, which we arrive at. So it's not so much an annual fee; it's a monthly fixed fee. You can call it annual also because you multiply it with 12, it's annual. But the arrangement normally with customers is on a monthly. We agree on a monthly fee because they have to pay us every month. Exactly. And that gets paid every month, in a recurring manner. So the advantage of this is that we have got great visibility in our business, because somebody signs up a 3-year contract or a 5-year contract and they'll tell us they'll pay us X dollars every month for the next 36 months or 60 months. So that's very clear. So that's the beauty.
Okay.
So last year in 24, about 80% of our revenue was repeating in nature.
Okay.
80%.
Okay. 80%.
And 20% was one time. We believe that this will keep increasing, this 80%, and we will probably stabilize around 90% or so. There will always be one time revenue, but
Correct.
the repeating one will probably get to about 90% or so.
Understood. Fine. Okay. Now, in terms of the qualitative assessment of the business, you said that, the domain expertise, the track record is very important. But, how do you add value to your customer? You said that you are an integral part of the telecom value chain because obviously telecom operators appoint you because they want to generate more revenue per customer. Now, in a very simple way, Subhaji, if you can give us some two, three
How do we do
concrete
that?
points. What is so special about our company that customers come to us, they take our service? Financials are already known. I'm looking at the qualitative aspects, like two, three qualitative aspects which
Understand.
differentiate us from the others in the same industry. So if you could share your thoughts.
Okay. So here's what we do. As I told you, we take all the data in real time. So there starts the difference. Because of the kind of technology that we have, many a time we are more real time than some of our competitors. Now, what we have done is when you develop a software product, you have developed on a variety of technologies, as part of that, underlying technologies. Whenever we found that an underlying technology is not up to speed or up to the mark, we have gone ahead and developed our own technology and patented it. So our platform runs on a lot of patented technology, which gives it an edge on the IT side. As to give you a very simple example, a telco can take a large segment of 5 million subscribers and query our platform for the behavior of these 5 million, and we can provide it in about 2 seconds. That calls for a lot of very, very, very fast computing. You're talking about 5 million subscribers, and in 2 seconds, you have got the answer that they are seeking from various dimensions. Now, that's a patented technology. So, first and foremost, our technological base, the architecture, a lot of it is patented and highly differentiated from our competition, which makes a difference in their operation. The second aspect is that we bring a lot of domain expertise to the space. So we understand telecom industry. Most of my colleagues have been in telecom industry for telecom software forever. So since we understand telecom industry, we are able to kind of tailor make the product exactly in line with what the telco is thinking of, what their challenges are, what they would like to do. And finally, I would say the most important piece, we have brought in a lot of AI/ML into the platform. At every stage. So for us, AI/ML is not just a module. It is, and it's all pervasive. So every aspect of their activity on my platform is actually handled by AI/ML as well. So with all of that, the platform becomes extremely intelligent for them to get their revenue up and stuff like that. So this is where we differentiate because of our understanding of the telecom industry, because of the kind of technologies we have developed and patented, and because of the extensive use of AI/ML in the platform. And I would say probably the last thing, which is the covering kind of thing, the ease of use of the product. We say it's empowering the marketers. So the marketer, so it's not you don't need an engineer to operate this platform. A marketer can operate the platform who doesn't have any idea about technology.
Okay.
So that becomes very good for marketers, and they don't have to rely on a technical team to use the platform. They can play with it themselves. So with all of that, there's a huge differentiation, and it is because of the differentiation that till date, once a customer signs up with us and starts using our platform, they don't replace our platform with a competing product.
Okay.
While we have replaced a variety of competing platforms.
I think very nicely articulated by you, Subhaji. Now, coming to the financials, I was seeing that FY24, we had a revenue of roughly about 58 crores, a bottom line of 5.18 crores. I wanted to understand now, hopefully, FY25 has started now without even sharing numbers, of course. If you could just tell us on ground, what are the signals you are seeing from your customers? What are the tailwinds you are seeing in your main customer market, that is telecom market? How would FY25 perform, according to you? At least in terms of top line growth, if you could give us some guidance, if it is possible, and tell us, as compared to last year, will this be a better year? I mean, in your own assessment.
You will see that this is a much better year with respect to revenue. And naturally, I can't give you numbers for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
but you will see that it's a much better year. 25 is going to be a much better year as compared to revenue, and an even better year from a profitability standpoint. I
Okay.
told you non-linearity has kicked in, so profitability will increase. You will see that happening.
Okay.
We are seeing a lot of tailwinds in the sense we've got a huge pipeline that we are working on, and we're signing up more customers. But the most important thing for investors, I think, and for us as well as a company, which I touched upon earlier, is that we have great visibility. So pretty much the entire revenue that we are hoping to book in 24-25 is already in our hands, as in it was already in our hands in April 24.
Okay.
So we started the year with all the contracts required to convert to revenue to meet our target for this financial year.
Okay.
So whatever we are winning in this financial year is actually for next financial year and onwards, not for this financial year.
Okay. Understood.
So our target is always to get into a financial year with full order book for the year, so that predictability is 100%.
Okay.
So that's a very important point.
Understood. I think now let's come to the most important question for the interview today. The company is planning to go public. Hopefully, I think this will be a very good success from a platform company like yours. Tell us one thing, sir. What is the main objective of raising money from the capital market as of now? And what is the kind of funding which the company has in mind? How much money will the company raise from this offer which is being offered to investors as of?
In round numbers, we're looking at about 55 crores. I'm naturally rounding off the
Yeah, yeah.
number. What are we going to invest in? Now, that is exactly in line with what I discussed earlier. See, as an organization, the product has reached a lot of maturity. Now, going forward, our biggest investment, that's the real thing. So we've got an excellent product. Now we have to sell it to more and more and more customers. That's what we have to do. So the main objective of this fundraise is to invest in sales and marketing. That's equipment and hardware and things. Some capex that we are planning to have for our continuous development and all that. So if you look at the objects, these are the key things.
Okay. And Subhaji, now one very interesting question. In our business, is there any working capital, or do we take upfront money from the customer and then give the service? How does it work? I just wanted to know the broad working capital cycle in our business, because we offer a service.
I would love to get upfront money, but that doesn't always work. Okay, so our working capital cycle is about 70 to 100 days.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the trade receivables kind of period. So it is somewhere in that region. So we complete the month, then we raise the invoice. It takes some time. Then it goes into their system. They approve it. They process it. So about 70 to 100 days. We're constantly improving it, but that's where it is at this point.
Okay. Understood. Now we come to the last question, Subhaji. Typically, in our business, Subhaji, what's the main risk which is there? Because we saw COVID. Of course, COVID was a very unnatural one-time event. But otherwise, in our business, what is the most important risk which you constantly monitor? Is it technology? Is it execution? Is it your superiority as a product? Sometimes there could be some malfunction. I mean, pardon me if I'm telling you something wrong. But what exactly is the main risk in our business? And up till now, how have you managed to keep this risk optimal and still grow? So if you could please share your thoughts.
The most important thing in our business, which then becomes the risk as well, is to maintain the differentiation with competition. So that's the most important. So the moment I lose out on that differentiation, then I have a problem. Now, how does this differentiation come? I would say about 60% of this differentiation comes because of product uniqueness. That has got its technology, features, functionalities, all of that. So I must be the best product out there. That's very, very important. The day I start losing that edge, I'll have a problem. So that is the biggest risk, I would say. The next thing is ensuring that implementation goes smoothly, and finally, it's about support being very well. So that would add to 20% and 20%, I would say. So the biggest risk, I would think, is ensuring that your product maintains that differentiation. So when customers see your product, they should feel this is the best for them and go for it. And that is how we have won till date. And that's how we will win in the future as well. So maintaining that differentiating edge is the most important thing, and that is the biggest risk as well. So ensuring that we keep scaling up on that front.
No, I think nicely articulated by you, Subhaji. So it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time, and please accept my best wishes to you, your entire management team, and best wishes for your forthcoming IP also. Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you.